Hello, my name is Chad Kassem from Acoustic Sounds, Analogue Productions, and Quality Record Pressings. And today I'm here to talk about the Atlantic 75 series that Analogue Productions is working together with Atlantic Records on. We're calling it the Atlantic 75 for 75. We're doing 75 titles for their 75th anniversary. And I just want to start out by thanking all of our customers. I mean, this series has been unbelievable. We've had really high expectations on this series, and it surpassed our highest expectations. I mean, we're getting great reviews. We're getting so many thank yous and great comments and people signing up for the subscription. I mean, we're just so happy, and I think the label's happy and everybody's happy. So it's just great. So I just want to first start out by thanking everyone that's participated or that's helped support this series. So I want to start out with mentioning a few things. One of the things is all dates and titles are subject to change. You know, there's just so many things that happen when you're doing 75 different albums. You know, when you're doing one or two albums, you find out these things right away, and you can change maybe even before we make announcements. You know, we found out. But when you do 75 titles, there's different things that can happen. I mean, you know, we reserve the right with the label. We say, hey, if we get a master tape and it doesn't quite sound to our standard or something's wrong with it, then, you know, we're going to change the title. And so, you know, so far we're probably into about 40 of them, 45 of them, where we've listened to the masters and gotten test pressings, and it looks like, you know, I'm sure 90% of anything that we've announced will come out, but you know, we're just not sure. So the dates and the titles are subject to change. So it's just nice to know that. Also, I want to mention that the Crosby, Stills, Nash albums, the prices are now going to be $65. Whether it's David Crosby solo album or Stephen Stills solo album or Graham Nash album, or whether it's Buffalo Springfield or Crosby, Stills and Nash or Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, all of those albums are going to be $65 now. Now, if you're part of the subscription, the price will stay the same. And if you've already pre-ordered these titles, you'll get that price. But from now on, the new price will be $65 for these titles. Also, we're recutting the David Crosby, If Only I Could Remember My Name. We had the original classic parts that Bernie cut for Classic Records probably 25, 30 years ago, and they sounded great, but there was a little bit of noise. And we were the noise was really light, and the album sounded so good, but at the last minute we listened again and we listened, and we're like, you know what, there's a little bit of noise, let's just recut it. So we had Bernie Grundman, who did the original one for Classic. We sent him the copy that he made. He also has the original notes, the original master tape, and the copy to reference when he recuts this. So I'm sure it's going to be great. So we're going to be cutting that very soon, and that should be coming out around April 12th. So a lot of people have been asking us about that. You know, some people asking about the SACD or Crosby, Stills and Nash. A lot of people asking about the David Crosby, which really makes me realize that people really love that album, and I expect that one to sell quite well. So on April 12th, we're hoping to release that, and we just wanted to make sure it was great. Also, you know, we've had some people mention that on the Genesis Sell in England by the pound, that some of the part numbers were different. Well, while we were using the original Classic Records parts that Chris Bellman cut back 30-something years ago, and sometimes the parts get damaged. This happens, you know, when you're cutting records and you have parts, you know, you can damage them. They could have been damaged. There's just so many things that happen. It's not a big deal. It was damaged. We had Chris Bellman, same mastering engineer, recut it again, and so we're using new parts on that. So that's the story on the Selling England by the Pound. We want to mention, man, we're just getting such great reviews on the Crosby, Stills, and Nash and the Genesis. And, it's unbelievable. We want to thank all the YouTubers and the people that are reviewing these records and the customers for their comments. And we're just getting so many people calling us that they're comparing the Crosby, Stills, and Nash to the original. And there's been so many copies that have come out since the original. And, the original never really sounded great. I don't quite understand why it sounds the way it does, but it's been hard for a lot of mastering engineers to get this right. But we know that we can almost certainly say this is the absolute, definitive, best-sounding copy of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Also, another one that this thing sounds so great. I think people are going to be blown away with this Alice Cooper. It was cut by Chris Bellman off the original Analog Master, and it's an unbelievable sounding recording. So we've just run out of these two titles, Selling England by the Pound. It's selling like crazy. Everybody's really liking it. We ordered 1,000 more jackets, so we're going to try to get this on the press maybe in the next couple of weeks. But we didn't order enough to begin with, and we didn't reorder enough jackets. So we got another 1,000 jackets. We're going to put this on the press soon. But again, this thing, people are just loving it, and it's going to be repressed soon. But we're only going to be making 1,000, so we'll probably be running out of it soon again. Same with this. We got about 670 jackets. This jacket is so deluxe and it's expensive. It takes a long time to make. So we got this one we ran out of also. We got about 670 jackets. We're going to put this back on the press. So again, we just want to let you know that because we're already getting a lot of calls. Hey, when's it coming back? Is it out of print? This, that, and the other. We just want to let y'all know that it will go back on the press, but the next time we press it, it will still be a very short run. So, but hey, it's going to come out, and we're going to order some more jackets. Also, again, the Phil Collins, just so y'all know, we had one, we could press up until the end of the year, and we cannot press this record again. So we're getting low on the Phil Collins and the Hello, I Must Be Going. It's not FOMO, it's just facts. So if you want it, buy it. If you don't want it, that's fine too. We know we will sell what we've made. But the only thing we don't know is who's buying it. But we do know we'll sell out. And we're not trying to create FOMO. We're just telling you facts. The Phil Collins will not be pressed again. All right, so we're going to go through the 2024 Atlantic releases. On March 8th, mastered by Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog tapes and stereo. John Coltrane, Giant Steps. Also from Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog tapes, Stone Temple Pilots Core. Everybody's excited about this. They're like starting to do newer music, although this has been out quite a while. We're very excited about this. We can't wait to see how this ultimately does, because so far the pre-orders have been crazy. Very happy about this. Also, John Coltrane, My Favorite Things again. Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog tapes and stereo. Classic record. Then April 12th. This is going to be cut by Bernie Grundman. He's cutting this now. It's off the original Analog Master tapes. We were going to release it off of the parts that Bernie cut for Classic Records like around 30 years ago, but we realized there was a little bit of noise. We wanted to make it perfect, or as good as it could be. So we had him recut it. He's got his original notes. He's got the album that he cut so he can compare it to and reference from. And he's got the original. So we're really looking forward. We feel like it's going to be a great new cut. The jacket is that textured. It's a really high quality jacket. Should be coming out April 12th. And again, mastered by Bernie Grundman off the original Analog tapes. Another one, April 12th, Brian K. Smith off the original Analog Master. It's got She's Gone on it. We feel like this is one of Hall & Oates' best albums, and we're really looking forward to this one. May 10th, John Coltrane Plays the Blues. It's mastered by Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog Master in stereo. This is one of my favorite Coltrane albums. I guess people won't be surprised because he's playing blues. I just love this album, the sonics, the sound, the music. Great album. I love the artwork. I love everything about this album. I'm really looking forward to this on May 10th. Also, the Yes album, cut by Kevin Gray off the original Analog Master. Looking forward to this. A lot of recognizable songs on here. Starship Trooper, I've Seen All Good People. Big album. June 14th, mastered by Kevin Gray off the original Master Analog tapes in mono. Charles Mingus, The Clown. And also cut by Kevin Gray off the half-inch tape copy. This is 90125. I mean, I've heard the test pressing of this. It sounds amazing. Ryan K. Smith cut this one off the EQ tape copy. This one's coming out in excess kick. Sounds great. Also, Ryan K. Smith on an EQ tape copy, Production Master, Bad Company, Straight Shooters. Classic album. August 9th, Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog Master, Stone Temple Pilots, Purple. Very excited about this. Very excited to be doing, music that's a little bit newer. And from the reaction from the fans or the consumers, everybody's loving that we're doing this. So August 9th from the original Analog tape. We were very happy to hear that that was recorded in analog. Also, Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog Master, The Velvet Underground Loaded. Very classic album. Another Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog tape, Shotgun Willie, Willie Nelson. All right, on September 13th, Pithecanthropus erectus, Charles Mingus. Kevin Gray mastered this off the original Analog Master in mono. Okay, now this is one of my favorite albums, Dr. John Gumbo. Ryan K. Smith is mastering this off the original Analog Master. What it is a gumbo of Louisiana music where Dr. John plays Tipatina from Professor Longhair. He plays an Earl King song. He plays some Huey P. Smith song. Huey P. Smith is the one that did Rockin' Pneumonia, and he also did Sea Cruise, and just one of the great New Orleans musicians. He does Iko Iko, Big Chief. So he mixes up a lot of the Tipatina from Professor Longhair, a lot of Louisiana, New Orleans, great R&B, R&B and early rock and roll music, and it makes a gumbo out of it. And it's, again, one of my favorite albums. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm always going to love, this is one of my favorite records. It's also on the Rolling Stones Top 500 list, so I'm not the only one that likes this or thinks this is an important album. Another one mastered by Ryan K. Smith off the original Analog Master, Foreigner 4. This was a huge album. I mean, sold millions. This is a classic album, and I look forward to seeing. It's got Urgent, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Jukebox Hero, and Nightlife. So we're looking forward to this coming out. October 11th, Dr. John and the Night Tripper, Gree. We're going to have Ryan K. Smith master this off the original Analog tape. Classic album. He does I Walk on Gilded Splinters. This was done in 1968. A lot of people like Humble Pie have covered this song. Tedeschi Trucks Band have covered this song. Just so many people. Such a classic. And I mean, it's like real swampy and, it's just such a great album, man. It's Dr. John Gree, classic. Also, Kevin Gray is going to master this from the original Analog tape, T-Bone Walker, T-Bone Blues, classic blues album from a classic artist. Kevin Gray is also going to master this off the original master tape. We're going to send him a white label promo. As we do, we try to send all of the mastering engineers a copy of the original album, or if somebody else has reissued it and we think that that's the best version ever done, we send them that, or we send them sometimes we send them 2 or 3 copies to compare, so they can think about how they're going to cut it and try to look, what someone did really good, and we always try to beat the originals, and we think we do most of the time. Sometimes we beat it by a lot, sometimes we just beat it by a little, but we try the best we can to beat it. And what's the point, right? This whole goal of my hobby is to hear my favorite albums sounding better than they've ever sounded before. That's where I get the most excited and happy, is when, you hear your favorite album sounding better than it's ever sounded before. That's what makes me happy, and because I feel that there's a lot of other people like me out there. So anyway, yes, Close to the Edge. This is a great album. Looking forward to it. November 8th, a real classic right here. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. The really deluxe, high-quality album jacket. It's going to be cut by Chris Bellman off the original Analog Masters, November 8th. This will be huge. Chris Bellman off the original analog tape cut this for Classic about 20 years ago. We still have the parts. Classic never issued them as a 45, but while they were cutting the 33, they cut 45 parts. We have those parts. It was done by Chris Bellman. So far, the Genesis is selling like crazy. People are loving it. We're very happy with it. Looking forward to this. Same with this album, Genesis Foxtrot. This will be December 13th. It's original master analog tapes. Chris Bellman cut for Bernie Grundman Mastering 20 years ago for Classic. We're using those parts. Looking forward to Foxtrot. Also, Chris Bellman just recently cut this because Classic had never released Trick of the Tail. These are from EQ tape copies. We sent him the original English. We sent him the original American. We heard the test pressing. We think it sounds way better than both. When you cut at 45, you're already at an unfair advantage. It's like a head start, because we're really happy with this, the way this one sounds, and we know that the fans are really, really looking forward to this. So that's the 2024 releases. They could change. Some release dates could change. Some titles could change. But for the most part, that's what you can look forward to, other than maybe a few adjustments. But we're going to try to keep it just as we announced it just now. Here's what's going to come out in early 2025. We're going to have Kevin Gray master this Boss Gags. To me, the best song on here is Loan Me a Dime. It's almost 13 minutes long. We're going to have it on its own side. So that's very exciting because, that sound is it's classic blues. And, to have its own side, it's going to be the best sounding version ever. Boss Gags. Ryan K. Smith is going to master this, Desolation Angels, Bad Company. Not sure who we're going to have master this Roberta Flack, Killing Me Softly, but it's either probably Ryan, Bernie, Chris Bellman, or Kevin Gray. Ryan K. Smith's going to master Double Vision Foreigner. Chris Bellman's going to master this Genesis Abacat. Kevin Gray's already mastered this Mingus Oh Yeah from Stereo. Sounds great. Bernie Grundman's going to do the Otis Redding Dictionary of Soul. And Kevin Gray is going to master the exciting Wilson Pickett. So these are what's going to come out in early 2025. Again, I want to thank everybody for being so supportive and investing and supporting this series. There's so many great albums to come. I've listened to so many test pressings, and all I can say is we feel like we've been knocking it out of the park. And by the reviews and the customers' comments and the calls I get, everybody's really loving. They're loving the Genesis selling like crazy. The CSN, people are loving. The Dr. John, the Alice Cooper, Welcome on My Nightmare sounds incredible. And, we're just, the Ray Charles, all the Otis Redding, Doc of the Bass selling great. We're just really happy with the way things are turning out. It's fun working with the team at Atlantic. And we look forward to doing many more great things. Again, some of this is subject to change. And also, there's a lot of people, the SACD people, have been somewhat disappointed because so far we've only released 5 SACDs. But we have a lot in line, and a lot could come out real fast. And we're going to try to catch up. I think we're up to about 18 titles on LP right now and about 5 titles on SACD. But we're going to try to catch the SACDs up pretty soon. And again, thank you for your support.
Please like and subscribe for more audiophile content.